What's up? Alright, so music gear. Got quite a few views on my Bias Pro video, and maybe some of you are wondering what I swapped it out for. So I decided to give up the VST electronic amp type of sound thing, or however you want to put it, for now. I loved Bias. It was fantastic. Sounded great, but the software is fucking broken. Like, it doesn't work. So, for now at least, I'm going to go a different route and decided to go a hardware route. One of the things that kind of bothered me about Bias from the get, I actually made a video for my other YouTube channel, which maybe I'll link down here, maybe, talking about how as musicians we're constantly trading and selling and buying and, you know, constantly in and out with gear. You buy a pedal or a mic or, you know, whatever, use it for a while, you want to upgrade, you pass it on to the next guy, and you get most of your money back, if not all of it. You might even make a profit on it, depending on what it is and how good of a buyer you are. And then you buy your next piece of gear, and round and round and round it goes. Well, with software, you can't do that. You can't. Because when you buy a piece of software, you're not really buying anything. You're just you're becoming allowed to use it. And that kind of dawned on me right after I got the software. I was kind of like, well, shit, that's $200 out the door now. Like, well, that kind of sucks, you know, because I'm a big trader, in and out kind of person when it comes to gear. I like trading and selling and upgrading and all that happy horse shit. So it's like, fuck, can't do. If I wanted to move on from Bias, there was nothing I could do, and that kind of sucked. So I really liked the software anyway, so I wasn't too upset about it. I was like, nah, okay, whatever, no big deal, fine. Used it for quite a while, and it all of a sudden started doing what was in that video, where it would just all of a sudden, all the way full on, balls to the wall, just loud, and it would auto mute the track, and you couldn't do anything about it. Freaking nightmare. Such a pain in the ass. And you goofy bastard saying fucking user error? No, sorry. No, you must be trolling, because I didn't do anything. It did it on tracks that weren't even armed. So, no, shut up. Anyway, the software was broken. Got in touch with their support, who was really good, by the way. They were really cool. They suggested a couple ways to fix it, you know, updating and various shit like that, which didn't work, and ended up refunding me, which was surprising. Wasn't really expecting that, but, I mean, granted, it didn't freaking work, so it's the right thing to do. I had that $200, and I'm like, well, shit, now what am I going to do? Was kind of thinking about getting a little Panama amp. They're not super expensive, but they're not cheap either. I'm like, because then I have to buy a cabinet for it. Ran across the new Line 6 stuff. Now, when I say new, I mean new to me. I hadn't seen this shit before. Come to find out, it's been out like 5 or 6 years, at least. Must have missed the memo while I was in the Marine Corps doing Marine things or whatever. I don't know. Never heard of it. The whole Dream Rig thing. I knew what the Helix was, and I knew what the Amplify series was, and we all know what the Bean is, and we all know what the Spider is, and it was just bad. So when I heard about the Dream Rig thing, I was like, what the hell is this shit? Thought it was more gimmicky shit, and just kind of lame, for lack of a better way to put it. A lot of their older stuff was not very good. Not at all. The Bean, the Spider 2 or whatever. Check out Glenn's video on the Spider. Oh man, that thing sounds like a bag of ass. Oh, it's awful. So I heard about the Dream Rig thing, and very, very cool. You can control the guitar, believe it or not, and the amp with the pedal. Pretty sweet. Change tunings and stuff on the fly. Pretty awesome. Wasn't really in the market for a guitar, but started trying to hunt down an amp and a pedal. Because after doing some research and stuff, I saw the pedal sounded pretty badass. Was definitely trying to go the hardware route, and seemed like a good way to go. Couldn't afford a Helix. Well, I could, but didn't really want to. I like to buy stuff used, so I can pass it on to the next person and, not lose any money. Good luck finding a Helix used. You can't. They're new. So even the rack mount one is like $1,300 or something. So that's the cheaper one. Maybe I'll upgrade to that a year or so down the road. Hopefully I get that far in this. Or with this, rather. Anyway, I got really, really lucky. Happened to find locally, no shit, I'll just show you. I got the amp locally, and the pedal I got off of eBay. Got really, really good deals on both of these. The amp blew me away, though. Like, it's the DT50, the 2x12. It is far better sounding than I expected. Like, it just by itself, no effects, no nothing. Has built-in reverb, but that's it. Couldn't believe it sounds killer. Really, really good, actually. So I don't know how well it records yet, because it seems kind of noisy. It seems pretty noisy for a amp, like just sitting there doing nothing. Even on a clean channel, you hear a little bit of hum, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes. The pedal got off eBay, shipped it here, and whatever. It's awesome. Love it, but it is making my computer blue screen, which is very not cool. That'll eventually make my computer not want to boot anymore, in which case I'll have to try to fix it. And I don't want to have to cross that bridge, because sometimes you can't fix that shit without reinstalling Windows, and I use my computer for a lot of shit. So I hope that doesn't happen anymore. Yeah, bad. Anyway, the whole setup is way more complicated than I expected. It's because I don't know if you noticed all the cables and shit behind it. You can actually have the pedal in front of the amp going through the input, like a stomp box or whatever, and going through the effects loop, send and receive, in the back. You can have it doing both at the same time. It's called the 4-cable method. It's kind of, it's a new take on stuff. Never done that before. It's interesting. You have to figure out how to program the thing to go where you want it, and there's a program on the computer, which is why it's plugged into the computer. It actually acts as a recording interface, and sounds pretty good, actually. But it's causing some computer issues at the moment I'm trying to work out, and I'm trying to work out the whole cabling scenario, because you need a special cable, kind of. I heard you can do it with a regular mic cable, but I don't know how reliably that'll work or how well it'll work. Still looking into that, but you need some special cable to connect the pedal to the amp to control the amp with the pedal, and just blah blah. If you want more specifics on the amp or sound samples, any of this bullshit or whatever, if you guys are even into this shit, let me know. I'll post more, because it does a lot. It sounds killer. I really like it so far. Have some ironing out to do, though, because it's it's kind of complicated. Jeez, cables going all over the fucking place. It's nuts. Questions, concerns, comments, leave them down below. You know the drill. Like, share, subscribe, all that happy horse shit. Would love to hear from all the musicians out there. I just found a unbelievably good album earlier this week, actually. I was going to say last week, but it was actually this week. Incredible. Really, really good. I'm actually talking to them right now. I just sent them a message asking if I could use their shit. Give them a shout out, put it in the background so you guys can hear it. It's amazing. If it wasn't for Ryan Fluff Bruce mentioning it, I probably would have never heard of it. Really, really good stuff. Inspirational. It's nothing I've ever heard before. It's fantastic. I love it. But if you guys are into this kind of stuff, let me know. Love to hear from other musicians and stuff. Like I said, let me know. I can do more. I got sound samples and all all that bullshit. I can give samples of all this gear and show it off for people that might be considering buying it or whatever. Show all the stuff it does, because God knows it does a lot of shit. It is amazing. Like, I can... Shit, the damn tube amp can reconfigure the way it's wired, for God's sake. It's nuts. Very cool stuff. But yeah, let me know. Later.